Hey folks, just got off the road from, I think it was an 8-day trip. Visiting dealers. I think there was about a dozen dealers that I saw through Pennsylvania, Ohio, and into Indiana. Spent a couple days fishing, 2 days on Presque Isle Bay that I ended up catching more of the resident largemouth than the smallmouth that run in there to spawn. Real nasty cold snap with pretty vicious wind. Made it difficult, especially in the inflatable. Wish I'd have brought the Pro Angler, but didn't have the room for it with all the sales samples for Boondocks. And gear organization is something that we're gonna solve those issues at Boondocks with a couple products that are coming up. Right now, inside this truck, I have to spend better part of a day unpacking everything in terms of my own fishing gear, in terms of sales samples and recharging batteries and drying out my bibs, and it's just chaos in here. Like, this is a mess. Not to mention I gotta kind of re-rig some rods that are kind of shoved up in the I basically do what everyone else does. I wrap them all together in the rod sleeves and put them in the passenger seat, which kind of crowds out if you have a passenger. So these are all problems that I'm going to be working, with the product development team, which is basically Chad Brinkley and Joe Comiati for sure has a part in living this sort of road life, a kayak angler thing, angler in general. But one of the things that I've been really immersing myself in is the whole boondocking thing, and that solves not the gear organization. It probably complicates the gear organization part of living on the road and doing these fishing adventures, and in my case, sales manager life on the road. But probably the biggest thing that keeps people from doing more of these sorts of adventures is it's expensive. And I want to do a little bit of real quick math to show you what I spent in particular on lodging in the last 8 days. Let's take a look. So I think what's typical for a lot of folks is you're gone for 8 days and nights, and average stay right now, it's kind of gone, it's become more expensive, but let's call it $140 a night at a hotel times 8. You're looking at, with the hotel versus boondocking, so over $1,000. Not everyone has $1,000 more, it just in lodging expenses alone. $100 on the Harvest Host subscription, and that's 1 year. I also spent about $300 on the hammock. So on the Drifter, I think it was $70 for the rain fly. Spent some money on a good sleeping bag, but in the underquilt and bug net, some of that stuff adds up. Let's say we'll do $150 for sleeping bag, bug net, underquilt. 100 plus 300 plus 70 plus 150. Okay, so this is 620. All right, I've already spent about half of what I would there. I had, let's see, 4 Boondockers welcome stays costing me $0. All right, so I've added in $130. There is one night I had to stay in a hotel because there was tornado warnings. So yeah, I didn't want to be in the hammock for that. Did 2 truck stop showers, $17 a pop, $34, and $0 to stay with Chuck Earls a couple nights. So let's add all that up and then just compare the two. Okay, added it all up. If it was 8 hotel stays, I'd be somewhere in this region. Could be higher, depending on it. Again, I used, I think, $130 as an average. The boondocking, even with the equipment that I had to buy up front, were less. That being said, this was one trip, 8 days, and this has already paid for as many other trips this year as I need to do. I've got the equipment, I've got the subscription, and each subsequent trip, as long as I'm not staying in a hotel, is going to either be $0 or $0 plus shower charges at the truck stop. So making road trip fishing trips affordable is part of what I'm going to be focusing on this year, and with product development with Boondocks. So I was skeptical of the whole the Drifter thing. My Drifter's right in there, and I spent 3 nights at Jody Queen's house sleeping in it, and said, yes, I can get a good night's sleep. Then I was skeptical about the, hey, am I going to be warm enough? And I set it up in the yard on a day like this where it was, sweatshirt weather, and I was toasty. I was really quite warm. The worst of it was two nights ago. Up in Erie, Pennsylvania, at a Boondockers welcome site, 26 degrees. That's one of the videos that I need to edit. 2 days on Presque Isle. It snowed on me in that in my boondocking arrangement with the hammock. I will just say that I was comfortable. I was toasty warm as long as I was in the hammock and in, with that underquilt. That being said, maybe it's not for you. Boondocks, we're going to come up with some more expensive, but maybe a little bit more luxurious ways to boondocks, and to boondock out there and camp with your rig. So that's what's coming. I really am comfortable and happy with the Drifter and that whole setup. I got a couple other videos that are coming that I got to edit. One of which is, I don't know if you can tell, one of these legs I bent. So, it's stainless steel, but it's not indestructible, and I did something stupid that I bent one of the wheels. So we're gonna put it in the vise. That'll be another video. I'm gonna show you how to unbend or rebend the Boondocks leg. 2 days on Presque Isle Bay. Some rigging in Chuck Earl's rigging shop. He's got a business up there, west of Cleveland, where he's rigging kayaks. And in addition to his walleye guided trips out on Lake Erie. So got a number of videos that are coming forward. And then I'm back on the road in like less than a week. So I really gotta break all this down, reorganize it. Part of that trip is going to Thomaston, Georgia, where we have Shoaly-Palooza. Gonna do some videography for that. And then immediately from there, I'm leaving on a trip to go to California. A lot of dealer visits, probably not as much fishing, because I got to get back here in time for my eldest son graduating from high school. And that starts all over again. And I go to Michigan for Whitehall, Michigan, the Kayak Adventure Series. So pretty chaotic living life on the road, and I'm living the life so that I can be part of developing the right solutions for gear organization, for boondocking, for keeping your costs low, and being able to have more of these road trip fishing adventures. Thanks for watching. See ya. Look forward to some other videos coming.